Studio code, and then this code.visualstudio.com is going to be your link. So you click here, okay, and now you really want to click on this download button. And here you are going to be presented with the different versions of your Visual Studio Code, depending on the operating system that you use. For me, it is going to be Windows, so you click on this Windows downloader, and soon your download should start, depending on your internet connection. For me, it is a bit slower. Okay, and as you can see, my download has started, but I am going to really cancel it since I have already downloaded this Visual Studio Code version for Windows, and I have it here on my desktop. Okay, and it is really a simple next finish installation. So when you double click on that, you are going to be presented with this license agreement, so terms and conditions. So you can click on this I accept the agreement, and then you can click next. And here you are going to be presented with this where should Visual Studio Code be installed. I usually leave this as it is already, so by default I'm going to click next as well. Okay, and then it is asking for the program's shortcut. I also click next there. So you can really leave these as they already are, so defaults. And then you can click install, and this can take a couple of seconds, for me at least. Okay, and now this installation has been finished, and it says that it wants to launch Visual Studio Code, so I'm going to click finish. And as you can see, this Visual Studio Code has been really launched by default. And the first thing that I want to do is going to be to change this dark theme into a light one. You can skip this step, but if you want to change the theme, you can use this File, and then Preferences, and here you can select Color Theme. And the one that I like is going to be this light Visual Studio theme. So when you click on that, we're presented with this beautiful light theme. Okay, so here I'm going to select New File, since we want to create a new web page. You can click on this new file, and as you can see, we are presented with this untitled empty file. And I want to really zoom this in so that it is a bit more readable to you, like this. Okay, and now I'm going to save this file, and then we are going to try to run it in our web browser just to see how this is really presented in our web browser. So how you can save this file, you can click on File, and then here you have options to save and save as, or you can use Control S or Control Shift S. So you can say Control S, and I'm going to save this document on my desktop, and I'm going to name it, let's say, my first web page. And the extension that we need to use in order to say that this is HTML document, so in order to tell to our computer that this should be opened via a web browser, that extension is going to be .html or just .htm, whichever one you prefer. I'm going to use this .html extension, like this, okay? And now I'm going to click Save, and as you can see, this file here is on this location, so this is the path to our my first web page.html file. So it is on disk C, users folder, then my user, and then on desktop, and then my first web page is the name of our file, and that file is this one here. So in my case, it has been recognized by default to be opened by Google Chrome. If that is not your case, you can right-click on it, and then you can click Open With, and here you can select your preferred browser. For me, it is Google Chrome, not sponsored. So here I have opened this file in Google Chrome, and as you can see, this is the path to our file, and then here is my first web page.html, which is really the name of our file. And this file is empty, so this web page is empty for now, but we are going to add elements to our HTML document, and then we are going to check how that is going to be shown in our browser. The first thing that I want to explain is what is HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, meaning that it is a standard language to create HTML documents or web pages. And HTML is really used in order to create the structure of a web page, which means that it is used to describe what elements are going to show up on your page. And the example of those elements are a paragraph of text, a heading, an image, a link, etc. And we are going to see a lot more elements later in this course, and in this video as well we are going to see some. And then that HTML document is taken by your web browser, and those tags are interpreted, and then web browser really, based on those tags, decides which elements it needs to show to your user. Okay, so here I want to show you the basic structure of an HTML document, so I'm going to copy that. Okay, this here is the basic structure of an HTML document. And this line of code here, so this doc type HTML, really tells to your computer that this is an HTML5 document. And then here you have a root tag. So I'm going to collapse it. And here you have this HTML tag. And this tag consists of this start tag and then this end tag. And whatever content this tag has, you are going to put that content between these two. So between this start tag and this end tag. And this is the root tag of your HTML page. The content of this tag are two sections, so two other tags, and that is head tag and then body tag. So what is this head section? What is this body section? Well, here in this head tag, you put data about your page, meaning metadata. And the examples of this are going to be, for example, title of your page, some data about your author, and then later when we learn more about CSS, we are going to see how you can really style your body section, so how you can style your HTML page by linking your CSS inside this head section. But for now, we are going to keep it simple. Okay, so that is this head tag. You can collapse it as well. And then inside this body section, you put all the elements that you want to show to your user. So the elements that I previously mentioned, such as paragraph of text, a link to another site, an image, a heading, etc. Okay, so these two are two tags that you put inside your HTML tag, and this HTML tag is the root tag of your HTML page. Okay, so I'm going to save this here now, and if I try to run it in my web browser, so I have already this web browser open, you can just refresh it if you have previously saved your HTML document, which we did. So if I make some change, you can see that this black dot appears, and then you can click Ctrl S in order to save it, and then you can come back to this document here and you can really refresh it, and as you can see, nothing has changed. So we have put only this basic structure. Where is it? So we have put only this basic structure of our HTML document, and now we want to put elements. So we want to put other tags in order to be interpreted by our web browser and then shown to our user. Okay, the first element, the first tag that I want to show you is going to be a very simple one. And let's say that, for example, that is going to be title tag. So I'm going to write here in this head section, so since that is something that we put in this head section, that title tag, I'm going to write here title, okay, and then I'm going to close that tag, and Visual Studio Code does that for me. If you use, for example, Notepad, it wouldn't do that for you, so it wouldn't write this close tag itself. So you should probably either use something like Visual Studio Code, or you are going to have to really write these close tags on your own. So this here is going to be the title of our web page, and I'm going to show you what is that title. So how is it shown? Let me just write this title. So let's say that it is going to be my first web page, like this, and I'm going to save it. And now if I come to this